Hello everyone, my name is Levi Perryman with Fresenius Medical Care, and I'm going to briefly show you guys our Novalung ECMO system here today. So if you look to my left, you'll see it has two separate configurations. This ICU mode on its trolley, and then it also converts into a transport mode, which you see here on my left. So I'll do most of the talking over here on this device. If you start off looking at the screen here, you'll see that the data that you get from this machine includes the flow, speed, and then 3 non-invasive pressures. So you have negative venous, pre-membrane, post, and then a calculated delta P. All of these pressures are non-invasive and self-calibrating, so they don't require any work for you to maintain, and they allow you to have some insight into what's going on in your circuit and be proactive in your troubleshooting. If you look at the bottom half of the screen, that's a graph that simply pulls all of that data and displays it to you in a time-wise format, anywhere from the last few minutes all the way up to the last week. The user interface is designed to be as intuitive as possible, so anything you click on brings up an associated menu. I'll just briefly show you two. One is your alarm overview. It gives you your treatment numbers, all of your alarms on one page, as well as your interventions. So this system has servo-regulated arterial bubble detection, as well as venous pressure servo regulation. You can turn all of your alarms on and set them automatically if you wish, and you can activate your interventions here on the left-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to briefly turn those off so I can show you the rest of the machine. At the top here is your alarm history. So one thing that's unique about this device is that we have FDA clearance for long-term ECMO. So that allows us to have a lot higher level of clinical support, and you'll see even built into the functionality of the device, if I pull up an alarm, it gives me troubleshooting steps at the bottom of each alarm on how I might go about resolving the condition that caused the alarm. Moving on down to the circuit itself, this all comes pre-assembled in a sterile pack. So you have a priming sash, a set of sterile tubing, your oxy, pump head, pressure sensors, all pre-connected. So the thing that is really unique about this circuit is the emergency troubleshooting. One that I'll show you very quickly tends to be an Achilles heel of these non-occlusive centrifugal pumps, and that's venous air entrainment. If you get enough venous air in your system, it can result in what's called vapor lock, and that can sometimes be very difficult to resolve to get your patient back on flow. So if you zoom in here on this pump head, I'm going to entrain some air, and I'll show you how easy it is to get the pump reprimed on this system. All right, so if you see the pump head here, it's full of air, and we have no flow, even though we haven't reduced our pump RPMs. So what I'm able to do is obviously I'll clamp my patient off, but once I drop my RPMs down to 0, I've got one outlet at the top of the pump. The air will rise into the outlet, and the pump will reprime. And when I reestablish flow, you see some more venous air heading up into the circuit. Stop the pump, the air just rises up into the outlet and the pump head's reprimed. We're back on flow, being supported. We're not seeing any air make it to the bubble detector. It's all trapped here in a bubble trap in the top of the oxy. So I've got my patient flowing again. I can go grab a big syringe, hook it up to the top of my oxy, open it up, suck the air out, and that emergency is resolved. Well, while we're talking about air, this flow probe also detects air bubbles and has capability for you to servo regulate when it detects air, so you can safely remove it before it makes it to your patient. And lastly, you'll see that we've got two identical pumps here. One serves as your backup pump in case of pump drive failure, and you can even plug it directly into a battery that lives underneath the screen here in the case of console failure, and that's what you see here. So this is one of our pumps plugged directly into a battery, spinning a pump head. If you guys want some more information about this system or want to reach out to us and have somebody follow up, you can go to www.choosenovalung.com. Thank you guys very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the conference.